Good morning
So
or good evening, Shirel Peleg, and welcome to the Sonoma County Jewish community. Thank you so much for making this incredible film, Kiss Me Kosher.
thank you, and thank you for having me in my film. Hi, Sonoma. I wish I could said it before. I wish I could be there in person, not COVID person online, just in person. Sounds like you live in a beautiful area. I'm currently in the Black Forest now, by the way, shooting my next film, which is also an amazing place to be. Just so green and beautiful.
Well,
Uh,
tell us a little bit about it if you want to. We would love to support you in the future. What is this new project about?
it's purely German. It's actually for German TV, so I doubt that it'll get out of Germany. But within Germany, it's a beautiful format called Tatort. It's locally very known. Um, it has about like 10 million people watch it every weekend, so it's a thing. So I'm very happy to be doing it, and it's my first all German project. So I'm really psyched about that. Also, like
That's
working in German,
amazing.
that yeah, that's a lot of fun. I'm really happy that I got to the place where I can do that, and also create something for mainstream TV. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you're an Israeli director, and so it's just amazing to
Exactly.
see you working on an international sphere. So congratulations.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. So to the film Kiss Me Kosher, we have loved it as part of our Israeli Film Festival here in Sonoma County. And I was just hoping you could give us a little bit of background on your inspiration for the film, especially the romance comedy genre as sort of a vehicle for so many other different issues that you have put into this film.
Yeah, so just to speak a little about the genre, I think that comedy is always the best way to open the hearts, and this is something I think it's the easiest to approach things that are regarded as taboo using comedy, and that was what I was aiming for. I wanted to touch subjects that I felt that were somehow a part of our lives, our everyday lives, our private lives, and in a sense are not really don't emanate they don't come from our personal lives. They always come from without. It's something that other people project on us, or the society we come from, or the situation we're in. um yeah, I guess that's why I chose comedy. And I think that's also personally, that's my go-to as a person. I'm not the person to be depressed or cry about things. I go to humor. That's just how I deal with things, and that's what I did. It was I started writing the film after I met my back then girlfriend, now wife. So it was the way I found to deal with the situation of every possible cultural clash
Could I
that I
ask
had to experience.
Yeah, were there parallels between your relationship and your personal experience direct to the script? I mean, I don't know about you personally, but is there a German element to your personal life that affected the film?
Yes, my wife is German, so that is very much like in the film, and many conflicts in different ways. It was adapted to be a comedy, but I think the essence of the conflict is something that I felt in my personal life, and I had to deal with trying to build a life with my wife, and we managed due to a good amount of humor, I imagine.
It's interesting to see Israel from the eyes of an outsider and not just like American Jews, as most of us know that we come on trips and we try to find our own cultural heritage, but as somebody who might have a Christian background or a non-American background and how they relate to Israel and what they might encounter there.
Yeah, I think that was also a very big part of me wanting to make the film. Um, just having the opportunity to point the finger at how horrible it might be to someone that is trying to find, their own little corner in this world that is very much defined by our heritage in the end. And it's very tribal. You're either a part of the tribe or you're out and you're not allowed in. It's not like live and let live. It's either you play by our rules or ciao. And this is something that I felt for the first time when I met my partner, and I was shocked by, because I had no idea it was that relevant. You know, I thought we're all liberal people. I am surrounded by people who are well traveled, well read, and suddenly all I have to do is to fall in love with a German from a different culture and religion, and suddenly I'm in the Middle Ages in this like shtetl feeling, you know. I keep on translating from German. I realize now it's horrible.
It's
So
okay. It's okay.
yeah, so that was a shock for me, and the film was a way to deal with that.
Have you found that there was a similar experience to you in Germany or being welcomed in a German society? Have you thought of making an Israeli type perspective film in, you know, Hebrew, German about being an Israeli abroad?
I really didn't feel like the experience of being a foreigner in a new country was what I felt. I didn't feel like a Jew or an Israeli in this context, I have to say, because I came to Stuttgart, which is a city that is full of immigrants, I think above 20%, and a very well-off community. And I just felt different, but it wasn't because I was Israeli or Jewish. It was just that because I was a foreigner. And this is something that I also deal with. I wrote, I'm working on a series in that direction, but it's not about being an Israeli in Germany. I think there wasn't a big Jewish community, or isn't a big Jewish community where I lived in Stuttgart when I came to Germany. So I didn't feel like that was my issue. I don't know. I was mainly a foreigner, not a Jew or an Israeli in that context. Funny enough. And now when I moved to Berlin, I was already so many years in Germany, so I didn't feel like a foreigner. Just moved a city.
Understood. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about LGBTQ issues in Israel right now and how you see them compared to how they might have evolved in recent years? Because what struck us so much and that I hear over and over again is the normalization of the whole LGBTQ relationship, that is just the given in the film and everything else is sort of highlighted, but it's very refreshing to see that this is the norm and it's not criticized. It's just the accepted truth of it, and how true that might be in Israel right now.
I don't think it's true anywhere in the world, to be honest. It's more, it was my wishful thinking. And when you get to make a film and you have the right partners and you can create the reality you wish to have, so that's what you can do. And that's the power that was given to me, and something that was very important for me to try and see if it's even possible, just to have two women want to be together and everything else is the issue but that. And that takes us back to the issue of also being in this kind of mainstream genre, which is the rom-com. Wanting to do a rom-com was also a big part of just trying to bring things that usually don't belong in the mainstream into the mainstream. It could be a regular rom-com, and this is why I try to hit every point that you would have in a normal rom-com, just to put two women then and show, you see, it works. So it doesn't have to be about that, because being a lesbian, you don't want to be a lesbian all the time. You don't want to talk about it all the time. This is not my issue in life, you know. It was an issue growing up, but that's already many years ago, and that's not what I do on a daily basis. And I want it to be as visible as anything else without being the thing that everyone needs to run around and fuss about. And I'm happy that it worked out, because it just comes to show that it can be normal. I don't think it is. We're not there. The world, it's just not there yet, but we're hoping to get there.
And I have to say that it's your wishful thinking it's useful in the world of cinema, that when you have this wishful thinking as your baseline, if it is your norm, it may very well be manifesting itself in the world. And your choice of the rom-com genre, I have to say, I think really opens the film up to more mainstream audiences. And I hate saying mainstream audiences, but I know that I have family members, my father, who is clearly a cisgendered, you know, straight man, adored your films so much, and his main question to me to tell you was, where can I buy this film right now so it can be in my library so I can watch it over and over again, just like Love Actually, which I think is his favorite film. So
Wonderful.
do you have a timeline for this film, and how mainstream audiences might see more of it in your work?
I still don't know when it's going to come out in the US, but we have a distributor. That's how it got to you in the first place. And I'm pretty sure he'll let you know when the DVD comes out. And first, we really hope to play in theaters. So that would be amazing. If the first thing you would do, and I'm pretty sure the distributor would be in contact with you again, is that when it comes out to theaters, to go and buy a ticket. It's so important, especially these days, to go out and purchase a ticket if the possibility is existing. Who knows?
Absolutely. We would
But
love
at
to
one
be
point it
able
will
to
come
promote
out
you.
on DVD. Yes, and I
Fantastic. Yeah, we would love to be able to promote you when that happens. Let me just see if I have a couple more questions and I'll let you go. I know that you are currently filming, and so it's difficult.
thank you.
Yes. Is there anything else that you would like to say to us in California, about your filmmaking, about Israeli filmmaking, or just a message for us and your future projects and your hope for cinema in the world?
I just hope that you spread the word, enjoy the film, talk about it, talk about the issues in the film, because that's the reason we made it. We wanted people to get together and talk about things we usually don't really dare to talk about. And if we manage to do that, then I'm extremely happy, and I did what I came to do. And if you hear my name and at one point you get a chance to buy a ticket to something that I did, and I hope we'll get there, please do. And thank you for watching the film and enjoying it. It means the world to me. It really does.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Irene.